Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing with this fun stencil from Brutus Monroe. It is a teacup pattern stencil, and I've pulled out some of these delicious glitter glazes. I have fuchsia, I have grape, I have garnet, I have navy, and then of course my ultimate favorite, which is fallen snow. So let's see what I can do. Guys, so I have taken that stencil and I have just used a little bit of tape to mark off so that I'm only getting the teacup. I'm not getting the saucer at the bottom. I am literally just using the teacup, and I'm over here trying to figure out which way I should do this. And I'm like, I want this teacup centered on this piece of paper. Why can I not figure out a way to get this centered on this piece of paper? I'm like, oh my goodness, do I eyeball it? Do I measure? What do I do to figure this out? Well, I grabbed my stick and stamp mat. And I'm like, Sandy, dingus, why didn't you do this before? So I use my stick and stamp mat to position my piece of paper and my stencil. And then I'm just using some blender brushes with some ink on top of them. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up all of my teacups. Now, I'm not using any kind of special technique here. There's no fancy blending, there's no fancy anything. I'm literally just taking a brush that has leftover color on it and coloring the teacups. So for this project, I'm using a couple of different colors. They are all blues and pinks and purples and all of the things. And if you caught my video last week, you know all about P is for purple. So some of these, man, I wish I really inked up that fast. Don't you wish you could ink that fast? So I'm going to ink these bad boys up. Some of the inks I'm going to go ahead and meld together. So I'll use two different inks to create a new color. And I am still like that 5-year-old kid in kindergarten where you're mixing colors. I don't know. And, you know, blue and yellow make green, and it's a wondrous, fantastical, magical thing. Whenever I mix colors still, I think it's a wondrous, fantastical, magical thing. It just makes me so happy. So I've gone ahead and paired up my glitter glazes with each one of these teacups. So I have a variety of colors, and I am just applying them one by one to match up the teacup. Now this stencil is really awesome. It's really easy to match your layered bits on your stencil. If you wanted to, you could layer up more than one of the decorations. I went simple this time since I am using the glitter glaze, and just went ahead and used one of the teacup decorations. I went ahead and let them dry. I actually did let them dry overnight. And now I just distressed the edges of the teacups, and I am putting some fun foam on them because I'm going to have them pop off the backgrounds of my page. Now I did pick a very busy background paper, but I love the colors with my ink and my glitter glazes. I think that it is a pretty good match. So once I get all of my fun foam on, I'm going to put my teacups into like piles, and then I'm going to place them down on top of the layout. So I'm placing them down in a way where my decorative items on the teacups aren't going to be right next to each other. So I don't want two pink teacups next to each other. I don't want two blue teacups next to each other. I want them to be kind of random and varied. I just don't want the two similar ones next to each other. So that's why I am placing them the way I am. Now it does turn out that some of them are, you know, kind of diagonal from each other, and that isn't bothering me. What does bother me is when they're right next to each other. Can't stand that. So I have this photo. This is of a 1-cup teapot and cup that my sister-in-law gave to me as a gift. There was a time in my life where I was a big tea drinker. I used to drink tea all the time. Hot tea, iced tea, you name it, I was a tea drinker. As you can see off to the left, I am much more of a coffee drinker. But I wanted to celebrate this gift that my sister-in-law had given me way back then. So I'm just using some chipboards from my stash to kind of add a little bit more pizzazz to my teacups. And then I'm going to add on a title. And the title is going to be stupid simple, you guys. Stupid simple. I pull out some letters from my stash. Originally, I was just going to put the title over top of the photo. But I was like, you can literally tell that this is a teapot. I don't think that I need to put the word tea on top of the photo. So I place it down here over top of one of my teacups, and I'm trying it out there, trying to decide if I like it there or not, if I feel like I need to change something around. And ultimately, I like it there, right? Like, I am happy with it. I think that my layout is showing that the teacups are a huge part of the layout. They are definitely more in your face than that busy background, and that makes me happy because it's helping celebrate that photo, right? Like, it's helping celebrate the fact that my photo is of a teapot and teacup. I think it's awesome. I love this little sucker so much. I even thought about putting coffee in it and drinking coffee from it, but I thought that that might be, you know, like a no bad thing and might get hand slapped by the internet, so I decided not to do that. I go ahead and put a tag down, and of course a little bit of twine in that tag hole because nobody needs a naked tag hole in their life. And then I'm going to journal a little bit right on top of that tag. Once I get that journaling done, that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you take the time to try out a layered stencil like this with some ink and some glitter glaze. If you haven't played with glitter glaze, you are missing out. Look at that sparkle and shine. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.